Actually, almost a year ago today, when you had Hamas going into Israel and killing innocent Jewish folks there. About a year out, there are airstrikes still continuing. Lebanon and Israel are going through right now, along with actions being heightened with Iran, the United States helping out Israel, the ally in that battle currently. I guess, what is your stance on funding going overseas? It ties in with Ukraine a little bit in terms of United States dollars going over there. Why is it important for the United States to back Israel in this matter?
So it was Monday will be the one-year anniversary of the terrorist organization Hamas invading Israel. It was brutal, terrorist attack. Women, children, elderly people, women were raped, men were shot. As we know that there were Americans who died there and who were also taken hostage. There are still hostages there. I've been there several times with Senator Ernst, and we were actually in the Middle East on October 6th and 7th. And she went into Israel, I think, October 8th. We had to come back for the Speaker's Candidate Forum. But a brutal attack. Israel, as an ally in the Middle East, as a democracy in the Middle East, has the right to defend itself. It has the right to be a sovereign nation. And when you have an organization who Israel pulled out of Gaza in 2005, they are not oppressive, it is not genocide, it is not an apartheid state. Hamas has been using humanitarian money to build tunnels, to buy armaments. They have not provided for the Palestinian people. Israel has the right to defend itself, and as an ally of them, and knowing that we were so close to peace in the Middle East, from President Trump's Abraham Accords, or the modernization through economic modernization, Saudi Arabia was going to come into the modernization or the Abraham Accords. That would have really changed the dynamics in the Middle East, and this was something that Iran could not tolerate. So Iran, through its proxies, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, and President Biden should have never taken the Houthis off the terrorist watch list. But when you have a weak president who is capitulating to a regime such as Iran and terrorist organizations, that breeds more aggression. And so the Biden-Harris administration goes into power. They try to get back into the Iran nuclear agreement that President Trump had withdrawn us from. They shut off Keystone Pipeline and domestic oil production, which allows global energy prices to rise. So both Iran and Russia can then sell oil and gas at higher prices to fund the wars that they're engaged in. But a weak president builds aggression. The withdrawal from Afghanistan, that horrible, incompetent disaster with withdrawal, leaving Bagram Air Base, leaving weapons there, betraying our allies, all of that has fueled this sense of aggressors around the world that if they go forth with their globalist, colonialist endeavors and are aggressors, that the United States is going to sit back and do nothing. So how we respond to what happens in Israel, none of us like to see women or children, to see innocent Palestinians to be hurt, to undergo the sorrow of watching that. But nonetheless, Hamas can stop this now. Hamas could have stopped this 11 months ago, or 10 months ago, or 6 months ago. They could have released the hostages. They could have been, good actors in trying to achieve peace. But it is the Palestinians and Hamas, their elected leaders, who have refused to have a two-state solution, and don't want a two-state solution. They want to eradicate Israel from the face of the earth. And this is coming about where we're just finishing Rosh Hashanah, a Jewish holiday. And so as we're speaking, I think I know where I stand. My opponent has been silent on this issue. She has been slow to non-existent in condemning protesters who are calling for the eradication of Israel, who are making anti-Semitic remarks, and she hasn't mentioned whether or not she supports Israel as being a sovereign nation and its right to exist.
All right, we'll be right back with final segment with Congresswoman.